A devastating day in Bartow County. A popular family law attorney is shot and killed by a client's ex-husband, who later then killed himself. As Ashley Johnson tells us, this sadly sheds light on a much bigger problem facing some attorneys across the nation.
A wreath lies out here in front of the law office of Antonio Mari, who was killed right after finalizing his client's divorce. I spoke with a good friend and fellow attorney who says the last thing his friend said to him was that he was in fear for his life.
He said to me, "No, this is different. This man's unstable, or there's something wrong with him. I'm genuinely afraid of him." And I've told me he bought a gun.
Anthony Parada says his friend and protege was well loved by all his clients.
Great job. He genuinely cared about his clients, and it wasn't a job to him, it was a profession.
Many in Cartersville are in shock.
I only have one thing going through my mind, and that's, worried about his wife.
Police say Walter Radford killed Mari at his office right after his divorce was finalized, then killed himself at his ex-wife's home. And it was his ex-wife who called police. Neighbors say the couple had 2 kids, seen here in Radford's Facebook profile pic.
I know they have 2 little kids that are always outside, so it's just sad.
But this murder-suicide sheds light on a national problem. Stephen Kelson, who studies violence against attorneys, just conducted a survey for the Georgia Bar. He found out of the 1,670 lawyers who took the survey, 790 of them said they experienced threats and/or violence. He said the majority of them practice family law. His friend Anthony Parada says the Bar Association will be paying for their good friend's funeral, and that next week attorneys will be out here at his office dividing up Mari's ongoing cases. In Cartersville, Ashley Johnson, 11 Alive News.
She was balled up in a fetal position, and they were just wailing away on her.
A group of teenagers on a violent 2-week crime spree are finally stopped by an armed Good Samaritan. Ron Jones spoke with that local hero tonight. And Ron, police say he stopped the suspects from beating a woman who was 8 months pregnant.
Can you believe that? 8 months pregnant, Vinny. And Atlanta police say these 3 juvenile suspects are responsible for 3 armed robberies and carjackings in southwest Atlanta in recent weeks. And during their 3rd attack, which happened last night, they robbed their 2nd pizza delivery driver. And they would have gotten away with all of this until Dennis Medeiros showed up.
I didn't know what this was. All I knew, there was 3 people beating on somebody over here.
Dennis Medeiros walks me through how his armed showdown with 3 alleged teenage robbers unfolded.
Just keep the computer dry. I'm fine.
Ashley and Tommy Bryant live with Dennis. They have surveillance video of the teenagers before the attack. You can see them walking towards this abandoned home. Police say it's the same house the teens used to rob a Pizza Hut delivery employee 2 weeks ago. Now they were waiting for a Domino's delivery. When she drove up Wednesday night, they were ready.
Police tell us that one suspect approached the victim, a second one popped up, and then a third, and they went after her.
As they flash what looks like a handgun, police say the victim ran across the street, jumped a fence to get away, screaming for help. All this, and she's 8 months pregnant.
We heard the noise in the house.
Shown here, Dennis grabs his gun and heads towards the screams.
They had her on my trailer right here just beating the crap out of her.
Dennis says she was being pistol whipped and beat with a stick in this trailer.
Beating her in her head and her stomach.
And the guy with the gun, he turned around, and I told him, drop it or I'll drop you.
As the teens took off running, the pizza employee was left moaning in pain.
She was in pain and worried about the baby.
Police say most pizza delivery employees carry little cash. Investigators believe they are targeted for the thrill of the hunt.
Even when we interviewed the suspects, they didn't eat the pizza. They gave the pizza away.
By the way, Lieutenant Spann also tells me that 2 of those 3 suspects were arrested, but the 3rd one got away. One was a girl, actually. One has already confessed to this crime spree, all of them between the ages of 14 and 16. All right, time to turn now to your speed feed tonight, folks. And one of the big stories tonight, rapper Joseph Jim Jones behind bars after a police chase in Metro Atlanta.
Think about these players that be trying to take a knee when a DA got my main man trying to take a plea.
Coweta County deputies arrested the Love and Hip Hop New York star and 3 others last night after a brief chase that ended when their SUV crashed into a patrol car. It all started when deputies smelled marijuana and they tried to pull the SUV over. They searched that vehicle. They found some pain-killing drugs, some other drugs as well, plus 2 guns, and one of which was reported stolen from DeKalb County in March. Hopes for a legislative fix to the crisis at the border will have to wait at least another week. Lawmakers have postponed a vote on the GOP immigration bill because they're concerned it may not have enough votes to pass. The bill was considered too lenient by some conservatives, but changes to the bill are expected ahead for next week's vote. A different bill introduced by Tea Party Republicans was defeated today by a vote of 231 to 193. Fashion designer Kate Spade was laid to rest in her hometown of Kansas City today. The 55-year-old died by suicide earlier this month, if you recall. Many mourners were in attendance, carried some of Spade's iconic handbags in honor of her legacy, but there's more sad news for the family. They released a statement shortly before the service saying that Spade's 89-year-old father had passed away yesterday. They said that his health had been on the decline and that he was heartbroken after his daughter's suicide. And yesterday, Kate Spade brand announced they're going to donate, Vinny, $1 million to support mental health awareness.
Real tragedy. Thanks, Ron.
Yeah.